Welcome to the second online open house for York Region's Municipal Class Environmental Assessment Studies for Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road. The purpose of this open house is to share information about the study areas and objectives, the process being followed, the considered alternative design concepts, feedback from the first online open house, the evaluation of alternative design concepts, the preferred design concepts, and the next steps in the studies. The Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road study areas are located between Major Mackenzie Drive East and Elgin Mills Road East in the City of Markham. Within these two study areas, we are looking at ways to address existing and future transportation needs of pedestrians, cyclists, transit users, and motorists. These studies are following the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment Process, or EA for short, for Schedule C road projects and build on the recommendations made in the approved 2016 York Region Transportation Master Plan, also referred to as the TMP. We're also exploring ways to complete the identified improvements while lessening environmental impacts. The approved 2016 TMP considers York Region's transportation needs and guides improvements throughout the region, including these two study corridors. The TMP was completed to a level of detail that satisfied the requirements of Phases 1 and 2 of the Municipal Class EA process. The current studies further the analysis completed in the TMP process. The design alternatives are evaluated during Phase 3 of the process, and an environmental study report will be prepared at the completion of the study. The environmental study report will document the planning and decision-making process for the transportation improvements within the road corridors, as well as future works and commitments beyond this study. The approved 2016 TMP documented broader, region-wide problems and opportunities, including those specifically for the Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road study areas. They include transportation network improvements to accommodate expansion of the designated urban area and future travel demands, capacity improvements to accommodate future travel demands, and corridor improvements to support walking, cycling, and transit access. The current assessment of the existing and future traffic volumes, as well as the planned development in the study area corridors, have confirmed that the problem and opportunities identified in the approved 2016 TMP remain valid. To summarize the preferred solutions in the approved 2016 TMP for Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road, both are to be widened to 2 lanes in each direction and constructed to an urban arterial standard, with curbs, a sewer system, and boulevard. These improvements also support an expanded transit network and include walking and cycling facilities within the corridors. Additional recommendations for the study areas are provided in the City of Markham's Future Urban Area Conceptual Master Plan and were considered during the development of alternative design concepts. These include additional collector roads within the corridors, as illustrated on the left side of the slide, as well as additional traffic signals for the new collector roads, as illustrated by the figure on the right. The next 3 slides illustrate cross-sectional drawings of the 3 alternative design options presented in the online open house number 1 and considered for the widening of Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road to address the preferred solution in the 2016 Transportation Master Plan. Each of the 3 alternative design concepts contains similar features with varying widths. All 3 concepts will provide 2 lanes of traffic in each direction, with low-impact development features, or LID for short, that will receive and process stormwater runoff from the roadway and active transportation facilities such as a multi-use path or sidewalk, as well as plantings and street lighting on both sides of the road. The boulevard is the space between the road curb and the proposed right-of-way limit. For alternative design concept 1, a 3-meter raised median with shrubs is proposed. Alternative design concept 2 includes the same features as concept 1, except for a 5-meter wide raised center median with tree plantings instead of shrubs. The boulevard is reduced on each side of the road due to the wider center median. Alternative design concept 3 does not include a center median, and the boulevard space is larger on both sides of the road to allow further separation between vehicles, pedestrians, and active transportation users, which also allows for more planting and larger LID features. LID uses cost-effective construction and building methods to store, filter, and infiltrate water into the ground. LID measures must be considered for all road widening projects to address increased impervious surfaces. Impervious surfaces are those surfaces that do not allow water to seep through into the ground. LIDs also increase opportunities for sustainable and climate-adaptive solutions. Some example LID designs that were explored as part of this study are highlighted on this slide. LID measures are evaluated and included in the recommended plan for the preferred design concept. The first online open house was hosted on the study webpage york.ca/Warden Kennedy Study from February 24, 2022 to March 24, 2022 to provide information about the project and gather feedback from the public and stakeholders on the planning and design of the studies. The comments received related to the general themes of traffic, including speed, traffic flow, and traffic signals, safety, active transportation, and impact to the environment, including trees. Comments along with responses from the project team are provided in an online Open House Number 1 summary report available on the study webpage. Input into the design options was also obtained from the Stakeholder Advisory Committee and Technical Advisory Committee established for these studies. Comments from the Stakeholder Advisory Committee included consideration of active transportation, the impact to groundwater from road salt and other solubles in stormwater runoff, as well as the impact of the improvements planned for adjacent road corridors and an accurate assessment of vehicle traffic volumes in the study area given the impact of the pandemic on local traffic patterns. Comments from the Technical Advisory Committee included consideration of stormwater runoff, access for emergency service vehicles, and a preference for separation of a cycle track from the sidewalk with a preferred cycle track width of 1.8 meters.
Following completion of various engineering and environmental studies and a review of the existing conditions in the study areas, combined with feedback from the community, committees, and review agencies, the evaluation criteria under each project environment category is reviewed and refined. A summary of the evaluation criteria is provided in this slide. The alternative design concepts were compared to each other based on anticipated impact for each criterion under the natural, social, cultural, engineering, and financial environments of the study areas, including possible mitigating measures. Comments from stakeholders and agencies are considered in the evaluation of alternatives. The alternatives are compared to each other under each of the criteria by applying a ranking from most preferred to least preferred, with a full pie representing the least anticipated impact, and therefore most preferred, compared to an empty pie representing the greatest anticipated impact, and therefore least preferred. The table provides a summary of the evaluation of alternatives as an average range under each environment category. The evaluation leads to the identification of a preferred design concept. This slide illustrates the results of the evaluation of the 3 alternative design concepts for Warden Avenue. A detailed evaluation is provided on the study webpage. Alternative Design Concept 3, a 4-lane road with a narrow marked median, is the preferred design concept for the Warden Avenue study corridor, as it is the least costly option and has the greatest setback of the active transportation facilities from the travel lanes. Please note a direct link to the complete evaluation is available on the study webpage. This slide illustrates the results of the evaluation of the 3 alternative design concepts for Kennedy Road. A detailed evaluation is provided on the study webpage. Alternative Design Concept 3, a 4-lane road with a narrow marked median, is the preferred design concept for the Kennedy Road study corridor, as it is the least costly option and has the greatest setback of the active transportation facilities from the travel lanes. Please note a direct link to the complete evaluation is available on the study webpage. This slide illustrates the results of the evaluation of 5 LID options for both Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road corridors. A detailed evaluation is provided on the project webpage. Rainwater harvesting was not carried forward for evaluation due to the negative visual impact and effective collection of rainwater from adjacent land use. Option 1, box trench design, and Option 2, vegetated bioswale design, are both evaluated as most preferred. In general, Option 1 is preferred for the majority of the study corridors, as it can achieve a greater degree of pollutant removal, which will reduce impacts to groundwater. Option 1 will be carried forward as the preferred LID concept for both Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road. In areas with higher groundwater table, Option 2 will be considered as a viable alternative LID concept to Option 1. Other emerging LID treatments may be considered during detailed design. Please note, a direct link to the complete evaluation is available on the study webpage. Alternative Design Concept 3 is the preferred design concept for both the Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road study corridors. The concept does not include a center median. Boulevard space is provided on both sides of the road to allow separation between vehicles, pedestrians, and active transportation users. Following input from stakeholders, the concept was adjusted to include a marked center median and to separate pedestrians and active transportation users by implementing a dedicated cycle track and a separate sidewalk with plantings separating these facilities. Vehicle travel lanes are 3.5 meters and 3.3 meters wide, with 2 lanes traveling in each direction, separated by a 1 meter wide marked median. The road is edged with curb and gutter, and stormwater from the road and boulevard is directed to a combination of catch basins and LID features. Light standards and hydro poles will be installed between LID features. Tree plantings will separate sidewalk and cycle track facilities within the boulevard at the limits of the right-of-way. Road widening to accommodate the preferred design concept will require property acquisition along Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road. The region will work with property owners to acquire the lands needed for the widening of the 2 corridors, while minimizing the extent of property required as much as possible. A temporary grading easement may be required in select areas to accommodate construction of road infrastructure and increased elevation of the road surface. An illustration of the road widening and alignment of the preliminary preferred design concept for Warden Avenue is provided in this presentation and as a separate PDF for download from the Region's project page for viewing in more detail. The width of the widened Warden Avenue right-of-way is 41 meters. The vehicle travel lanes and road alignment are illustrated in gray. Within the right-of-way, the boulevard and plantings are illustrated in green, separated by LID features illustrated in blue. A 1.5 meter wide sidewalk and a separated off-road cycle track with a minimum width of 1.5 meters are illustrated in dark gray. The sidewalk and separated cycle track are located on both sides of the road. For reference, the collector road intersections along Warden Avenue are labeled according to the community structure plan for the future urban area shown on slide 7 of this presentation. The location of the collector roads to support the development of the future urban area were reviewed through separate EA studies completed by the City of Markham. All future collector roads that intersect Warden Avenue, more specifically EW1, EW2, NS2, and EW3, are expected to approach the need for traffic signals by 2031. Heritage Hill Drive will remain unsignalized, but improvements will be made to this intersection, such as geometric improvements and the inclusion of crossrides. Between Major Mackenzie Drive and Elgin Mills Road, the spacing between the future traffic signals will be optimized for efficiency. Infrastructure improvements at the Major Mackenzie Drive and Elgin Mills Road intersections are recommended to improve capacity, and signal timing optimization is recommended to improve operations. The intersection configurations may change based on final approval of traffic study in consultation with adjacent developments and the City of Markham through the Elgin Mills Road EA. An illustration of the road widening and alignment of the preliminary preferred design concept for Kennedy Road is provided in this presentation and as a separate PDF for download from the Region's project page for viewing in more detail. The width of the widened Kennedy Road right-of-way is 43 meters, to be reduced to 41 meters in the future. The vehicle travel lanes and road alignment are illustrated in gray. Within the right-of-way, the boulevards and plantings are illustrated in green, separated by LID features illustrated in blue. a 1.5 meter wide sidewalk, and a separated off-road cycle track with a minimum width of 1.5 meters are illustrated in dark gray. The sidewalk and separated cycle track are located on both sides of the road. Like Warden Avenue, the Collector Road intersections along Kennedy Road are labeled according to the Future Urban Area Community Structure Plan. The location of the collector roads to support the development of the future urban area were reviewed through separate EA studies completed by the City of Markham. Kennedy Road at the future EW3 and EW1 collector road intersections are expected to approach the need for traffic signals by 2031. Kennedy Road at the future L3 collector road intersection is assumed unsignalized due to its short segment and less direct connectivity. The intersection configurations at the collector roads may change based on the final approval of traffic study in consultation with adjacent developments. Infrastructure improvements at the intersection with Elgin Mills Road are recommended to improve capacity, and signal timing optimization is recommended to improve operations. This intersection configuration is based on the Elgin Mills Road EA and will be further developed during the detailed design phase of the project in conjunction with the City of Markham. Measures to minimize the impact of the road widening will include avoidance of the Pingle Farm Cemetery, located adjacent to the Kennedy Road right-of-way. As illustrated in the black and white figure on this slide, the LID feature will be removed from the design concept cross-section in this area to reduce the width of road widening at this location. The construction and grading activities associated with the road widening are anticipated to include removal of some individual trees or fence rows. Recommended timing for vegetation clearing activities will be planned to avoid sensitive times of the year for local wildlife. The region will work with the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks for any further study required to assess the potential presence and mitigation of possible impacts to species at risk associated with the implementation of the preferred design concept. Following the input received from Online Open House 2, the study team will confirm the preferred design concept. The next step is to document the information in the Environmental Study Report. The Environmental Study Report will be made available for public review and comment for a period of 30 days following the notice of completion of the studies. At this time, it is anticipated that the notice of completion will be published in spring 2023. Following the EA studies, a detailed design of the preferred design concepts will be completed prior to construction. The planned construction schedule for Warden Avenue is to commence in 2027. The planned construction schedule for Kennedy Road is to commence in 2028. The year of construction is based on York Region's 2022 10-year Roads and Transit Capital Construction Program. The York Region's 10-year capital plan is reviewed and approved by Council annually. The construction commencement may be advanced or deferred in the future based on priorities in the region. Thank you for participating in this second online open house for the Warden Avenue and Kennedy Road EA studies. We ask that you help shape the decisions made as part of these studies by completing the comment form available on the study webpage, york.ca/Warden Kennedy Study. The presentation materials are available on the study webpage for review and comment until January 6, 2023. Responses to comments received will be provided in an online Open House No. 2 summary report, along with a summary of your written comments and posted on the study webpage. We appreciate your feedback and look forward to receiving your comments.